Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Careers at Sea and Show Stories from Women Leaders, powered by Indian Maritime University. Today, we'll hear from extraordinary women who have navigated challenges, broken barriers, and led with a vision in the maritime world. Their journeys of resilience, passion, and achievements are the true reflection of the SheEO conference spirit. Believe, achieve, and lead. Let's get ready to be inspired and motivated by their stories. I am Benna KS, student of Indian Maritime University, Kochi. I'm currently pursuing MBA in International Transportation and Logistics Management. It's truly exciting to moderate this wonderful panel today. As a student, I look forward to this discussion because it's not every day that we can hear from extraordinary leaders. With that, let's meet the incredible minds who will be sharing their thoughts and experiences with today, starting with Captain Ivana Kulkarni. Captain Ivana Kulkarni is the first master mariner of Slovakia and a true trailblazer in the maritime industry. She serves with multiple ships and is also a Maritime SheEO ambassador and a mentor, actively empowering and guiding the next generation of women in shipping with her extensive experience in maritime. Next, we have Nitzeira Watson. She is the Honorary Secretary and the legal representative of the Nautical Institute, Panama. With vast experience in maritime industry across the multiple domains, she has been serving as a maritime signaling technician in recent years. She actively works on empowering and connecting to young maritime professionals. And we have Udara Cumaratunga. Ms. Udara Cumaratunga is the General Manager, Commercial and Marketing at SAGT Port of Colombo, Sri Lanka. She is the first woman president of the Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand Business Council and actively contributes to Vista Sri Lanka and other logistics and climate action committees. Next, we have Christina Berg. Christina Berg is the head of communication at Turtle, a future-shaping maritime HR company headquartered in Germany. She brings over a decade of experience in shipping and marketing with a strong background in international business and communication. She is passionate about empowering people and believes that leadership means truly helping others grow and shape a more inclusive maritime industry. And we have Minoshka Rodrigues. She's a trainee marine engineer at Seaspan. She's deeply passionate about shipboard machinery and onboard operations and is carving her path in maritime industry with dedication and hands-on expertise. To begin with our discussion, I would like to ask my first question to Captain Ivana Kulkarni. Ma'am, as the first woman master mariner of Slovakia, what inspired you to choose this challenging field? And how did you first came to know about it?
Thank you very much for the question, and good morning, everyone. Well, being and coming from the landlocked country, we don't have a sea, so the seafaring or a seafaring profession was never the thing. We never discussed that at school or in the families, at home. So it was something extraordinary, the path that I've chosen. I never had any dream jobs when I was a kid. So I just knew that I wanted to do something extraordinary, I think, and something adventurous, and something that didn't fit into classic 9-to-5 job. And I was also privileged enough that I traveled a lot when I was a kid. So even coming from the landlocked country, my parents were very good in providing us basically at least once per year or two the travel to sea. So I have experienced the Adriatic at the sea already when I was 2 years old, in compared to some of my peers that have seen the sea maybe in their 30s for the first time in their life, right? So I've chosen to pursue the completely different path, actually, initially. That was mass media and marketing communication. But during that study, immediately on the first year, I feel like I didn't fit there, and I found the opportunity to study at the Maritime Academy. And that opportunity I found completely accidentally, as a coincidence. And I think like my journey and the story is an example of how actually the media and the internet and also the coincidence can suddenly shape your life in completely different direction and steer your life in a direction that you never have imagined before. And then it's just up to you how you take it and how you make it your own. So this was the way how I found that opportunity. I just received from the company that offered this opportunity 2 A4 pages of the practicalities about the life at sea, but there were no social media at that time. So there was no LinkedIn, and Facebook was small, there was no Instagram. Instagram didn't exist in that time. So I spent nearly 2 years of gathering information on my own. So I was trying to find out, I don't even know how I managed actually 15 years ago. I found the Czechs and Slovak students who already studied in the Nautical school in Poland. Because I moved to Poland, I learned the language. This was the closest nautical academy I could do that. And I asked them about studies, about the life abroad, about the study in a foreign language, about the daily practicalities at sea, about the daily work on the cargo ship, because working on the cruise ships, that was something unimaginable at that time. So I gathered information, a lot of information, and it took me nearly 2 years, as I mentioned. I finished and completed my bachelor degree as a mass media and marketing communication, and then I moved to Poland and started a completely new career. And this is something which I would advise to every one of you, girls, boys, or all the youngsters, to gather and to collect all information possible. Today is easy, through the social media, through everyone you know, through your families even. You are the sea country, right? So you have the seamen in your family most probably. So you just gather information, everything about the practicalities at sea, the long contracts, being away for a long time from the families, and think carefully about that if you are mentally and physically ready for this journey and for this path, because the seafaring is not for everyone, but for the one that choose it. I think this is the extra rewarding and the transformative journey and the profession that you can pursue.
That sounds like a lot of hardship behind the wonderful success that you have today. I would like to ask my next question to Nitzeira. Given that job opportunities for graduates in this industry can be limited, what advice would you give to the students or the young professionals looking to build a successful career despite these challenges?
Okay, good question. The advice that I can give students is, if you can dream it, you can do it. We know that in maritime industry, females have it hard. It's not easy for us. Actually, at this moment, I was speaking with my daughter this morning before I came here. And she said, Mom, I want to be in maritime industry. And I told her, you have to trust in yourself. It's not easy. Out there you can get difficult issues just because you are a woman, you are females. And I have many experience in life that because you are females, you receive difficult, someone just close the door in your face. And don't make anyone tell you that you cannot do it. You can trust in you. You can trust in futures. And it's not about female and it's not about male. It's about what do you have inside. You have to keep yourself studying. You have to keep yourself acquiring knowledge. It's not because you graduate, you will get a job opportunity at first sight. You have to know that. You have to know that maritime industry is developing in technologies, artificial intelligence. Those topics that you know, sometimes they say in artificial intelligence will come and replace humans. So you have to make these technologies don't rule your opportunity. You have to rule this opportunity. This is what I can say.
Also, ma'am, thank you, wonderful. As someone who has helped establish Nautical Science Institute in Panama, what impact do you see or hope?
When I speak about this topic, I speak about women empowerment. When I visited the Nautical Institute 2019, I was going to join Young Member Council. When I returned to my country, I returned with the mission to establish the branch in Panama. But my big issues were when I meet the members of Panama, they tell me, you are a child. You cannot rule this. You cannot open the branch. And that is when I say it's time to use women empowerment. It's not about you are a woman, it's not about you're a man, it's not about you're a student. It's about what do you have inside and you think that you can do it. At this moment, as you say, I'm the Honorary Secretary of the branch here in Panama. And my main objective is that empowering students and don't close the door. Don't they receive difficult what I receive when I did trying to establish the branch in Panama. That is what I can say.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to ask to Christina Berg. Ma'am, with your strong background in recruitment, what major trends have you observed in recent years when it comes to career choices? Or do you see a difference between the preferences within the maritime industry?
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. So I think the career preferences from the young seafarers are rather practical and center on the human factor. So what we can see are mainly 4 things that matter a lot. So the first thing is, of course, very good conditions on board. So everybody wants Wi-Fi, good nutrition, training facilities, also medical insurance is a great issue. And what is also very important to the seafarers is crew changes, that they happen on time. So this is the first thing that really matters. The second thing is being heard. So trust is built face to face. So the exchange from the shipping companies and the seafarers on live is super important. So shipping companies need to visit the vessel. Crew conferences are a great place to exchange opinions. And this is the second topic that I find very crucial. And the third one is, of course, the salary and a holistic career approach. The salary, of course, is key. And it should not be static. It has to keep on track and have to be in line with inflation. And what seafarers want is what we experience is that they want a holistic career approach. They want to know, they want to have a vision, and they want to work towards this vision with trainings and be prepared and have guidance from the shipping companies. And the last thing, what matters a lot, is work-life balance. So that is the same for seafarers or shore-based personnel, but everybody, and especially the younger generation, is very keen on having a good work-life balance. They want to prioritize time with their family, of course, and that drives a lot of motion in the industry and also influences the segments which are popular. So because everybody wants short rotations, they want predictable systems, and that's what we see, that some industries are particularly popular, for example, LNG, LPG, because there's kind of a gap, a demand and supply gap, because seafarers, what they like about that is that the salary is higher, that there's a lot of technology, advanced technology, and that creates a gap because mainly the shipping companies want seafarers that have a vast experience in that field. So there's kind of a recruitment gap. But what we also see is that seafarers mainly prioritize a lot coastal and ferries and also offshore segment, again, because that ties into the topic of work-life balance, because there are more predictable schedules and you can rely on that a little bit better. And also the cruise sector is becoming more and more popular.
That was so insightful. Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to move on to Udara, ma'am. You have often spoke about the mentorship that you have got. So now, in your own journey, how do you now approach mentoring young professionals, and what values or practices do you like to pass on to them?
Thank you, Benna, for that question. For me, mentoring isn't really giving advice from the top. It's really about building a conducive environment for learning. It's also really building connections with people and as a leader, inspiring young people to understand what their potential is and guiding them towards that potential. For me, mentorship has been one of the key driving elements of my career. The leaders that I've had the privilege of working with throughout the years have really shaped the way in which I look at the world and also the leader that I am today. So I'm extremely grateful and appreciative of those leaders that have taken the time to really teach me their experiences, but also guide me in my own career. I believe that mentoring is a two-way process. It is really the communication, the engagement really enriches both the mentor as well as the mentee. And especially from a mentor, it's an opportunity for us to learn as well. And we need to be receptive to that opportunity of learning. At SAGT, we have multiple mentorship engagements, which allows us to meet new people, meet young people, gain ideas, and really change the way in which we operate as well. When we go into our mentorship engagement, our approach is through a framework of topics that we've identified that we think are important. But when we go through the process of mentoring, we actually take feedback from our mentees. We do different scenario-based questions, etc., and gather information so that we can tailor the content that we have prepared for them so that it becomes effective. That's also led to better interaction with the mentees, and as a mentor, I've learned so much through that process. We've also incorporated scenario-based role-playing so that whatever that the mentee is really learning, they're able to kind of use it in their own approach to those challenges. Again, we get to see how we can approach a challenge differently from the eyes of someone different, but it also is an opportunity for someone to not just listen and take experience from someone else. You can incorporate what you've learned through that. Ultimately, as a mentor, I think it is our duty to guide someone to see their potential. It's not really about defining someone's career. It is really about guiding them. So whatever your approach may be towards mentorship, that's okay. It really depends on the person you are mentoring. And as one of the mentors in the audience, one of my mentors in the audience always says, situational leadership. So as a leader, you need to prepare yourself for the person. And that way you're able to guide and inspire that person towards their career, their own experiences, but also use your experiences to kind of give them insight as well. So I think that is the value of mentorship.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to move on to Minoshka Rodrigues. You joined the Merchant Navy later than many of your peers, after exploring many other career opportunities. So, how did you start your maritime journey, later influence your perspective, or what strengths did you gain from the other jobs that you have done?
Yes, I have started my maritime journey later than most of my peers. Along with, I have explored several other paths along with preparing for the defense exam. While others might view it as starting the journey late, but I view it as entering with purpose and clarity. While experiencing several setbacks and uncertainty earlier in life made me realize what truly is satisfying and fulfilling. This journey taught me that there are people, you will find people throughout these careers where you will find people who will doubt your capabilities or challenge you, but there will also be people who will lift you up. It depends on us whose voices we choose to listen to. And I also learned adaptability and this journey has throughout this journey, I discovered that the strongest pillars in my life was my family. And this journey, I'll just speak apart from the script. So yeah, I thought that my strength was physical, but I realized that throughout this journey, that mental strength, focus, and determination is what truly drives success. So I would like to conclude with saying, when life throws us bricks, it is up to us whether it will weigh us down or build us up. So let's choose to build our empire.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to ask to Captain Ivana Kulkarni. Ma'am, you have a strong presence on the internet. As we all follow you, you have very strong presence on the internet and very publicly accessible. How do you see digital platform as a tool in your professional career, and in what ways do you use them to connect to the young maritime professionals?
You know, funny enough, I never realized that I have such a strong presence on internet. I really didn't consider myself influencer, seafluencer, and I was not really active on the social medias like until about a year ago. Mainly, I mean, I think, not that type of the person, open person, let's say, but also there were the other factor, which were the social media policies. In each company that we joined, we have the social media policies, and there was that general kind of a fear of what can we post, what can we not, and so on, right? It became a little bit more open-minded, I would say, now, last couple of years, but there are still companies, still people who do not like it, generally still seafarers who do not like it very much and criticizing the others for doing so, right? So as I said, I didn't realize that I was not so open on social media until like a year ago, and everything started with a podcast that happened actually here in India with Karan Singh Nagar, who we all know, I believe. And just now when I enter this hotel in the morning, I just enter my couple of steps, and I had a girl approaching me, "Mom, I know you." I said, "Okay, from where?" "I have seen the podcast." And I said, like, "Wow, okay." And she said, "It was the most amazing and the most informative podcast that I've watched about the maritime." You know, and then I'm thinking, like, yeah, this is it, and this is one of the reasons why I kind of started to do unintentionally, because the video started to circulate. My crew members' video started to circulate. Basically, I did a video, and after 2 days, I went on board. And I was just on board, and my crew members started to approach me, like, "Ma'am, we have seen your video. We have seen your video." And that's how it started, and that's how I continue basically to expose myself a little bit to the world, to the maritime world, and to, you ask me particularly, so I'm talking about my case, how did it help it to me, how did it helping my professional journey or even the personal journey. I must say I received a lot of contacts by being public on the social media, and the contacts on the international, global level, but as well, again, as somebody coming from the landlocked country, I have connected with the people from the maritime industry from my country, from Slovakia. I got to know that there are the mooring lines being manufactured in one of the villages in Slovakia, which I had no idea before. I received a book from one of the men, sailor, who navigated the world. I have never heard of him before. I got a collaboration offer with the Slovakian Lloyd. I had no idea we have Slovakian Lloyd. Unfortunately, I was a little bit cut off of my country since, again, we're not sea country. So with a lot of connections, cooperation, getting to know the people from the industry, because again, we are the seafarers. We are active seafarers. We spend 7-8 months at sea per year. I spoke last time with some professionals from maritime industry, shore-based, and they were shocked. It's like everyone knows how much time we spend at sea, but nobody really realized, you know. So we do not have a time to join the conferences and all the events. Sometimes when I look at the LinkedIn and I see posting every week being people on the other side of the world, I say like, okay, these are people exposed to the media as well and traveling, and sometimes I'm thinking, how do they have the time? So we have 4 or 5 months which we spend at home. with our families. We can join one conference per year, so we are not known or so exposed until we not expose ourselves to the world, right? So what I'm also trying to advocate for, it's a little bit to expose the maritime leader, if I can call myself that way, also a little bit in the human way. So what I'm sharing on my social media is not only the professional life, because we are 7-8 months at sea, but the rest of that whole time we are dead at home. We are not working. We are not exposed to any activities. We are completely off, and then we are home with our family members. And I'm trying to bring this part of the seafaring life a little bit to my social media exposure. And what my goal basically is what I do advocate for, being the leader that is human and empathetic and actually easily approachable, as you mentioned.
Actually, it's very nice to see you post random things, sometimes informative things and celebrations. Thank you. Now, I would like to take some tips from Christina Berg. Ma'am, like you have a strong background in recruitment. What practical tips do you give to the people that are sitting here? Like how can we build a personal brand, or what catches the eyes of the recruiters when you go to a resume or something?
So in general, I think it's super important to also have role models on social media. But of course, the day-to-day business is a little bit more practical. And what recruiters definitely look for is that you don't have any gaps in your sea service. This is the most important thing, that everything is current and up to date, that there are no gaps you cannot explain. So stable sea service is something that recruiters always look for. Very deliberately. Then there's also the topic of fighting the niche label. That's how I would call it. So if you want to change the segment or also the vessel size, it's important to do that at an early stage and to really work on that, because sometimes it happens that people put you in a box, and if you are always sailing on a container vessel or a certain vessel size, then you are the container type, I would say. So this is also important, that if you have a certain goal and that you have to deliberately work on towards that and also show your trainings and everything. So this is also important. And as a last one, you have to present a forward-looking career. So if you are interested in green tech and digitalization and everything, it has to become clear from your CV, and that's what also, the recruiters, they look for the past, for the sea service and everything, but they also look where you want to go, and then they align it with the company's goals and check if that is a match. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, I would like to move on to Udara. Ma'am, from your perspective, how can more women be encouraged to take up roles in ports?
So I think the port industry is an underrated career opportunity for women. And that's predominantly because of the social norms and also the lack of information. So women don't really particularly know the opportunities that they have. But the port industry is an industry that offers so much to so many different people with different interests. You could be an engineer, you could be interested in operations, or it could be technology. We're automating terminals today, so you could be an IT professional too, working at a port. But these career opportunities aren't spoken of openly, and as a result, women don't know about it, and they don't explore that opportunity. I think today the world is changing, especially awareness is growing, and in Sri Lanka, we've had associations like CILT, Vista, Willat coming together and going out into schools to promote the maritime industry, not just ports, but the maritime industry as a whole. And that has been important in getting people interested in the industry at a young age. We've found often that people learn about it once they're in university. By then they've studied science, but now they've not need to maybe do a bridging degree to join the industry, and that is a deterrent to them. So going in when they're young, trying to decide what subjects they want to learn has really changed change that approach. At SAGT, we've also looked at giving females dedicated internships so that we give them real industry experience. And again, today we give industry experience to students studying economics or unrelated, arts, unrelated subjects, so that they know that I can still do it. I have a degree, but I can still do something, and I have a career opportunity. And that has really brought about change as well. Today, we have 12 females from unrelated industries working in operations at the company. So I think that kind of exposure, having businesses, companies take the charge and giving people the opportunity to experience real work in the industry will definitely support. And from another point of view, I think communication, media is really important. I can't stress how important social media is today. And Dr. Kulkarni, Ivana spoke about it. It really makes a difference. The same student spoke to me earlier today, and she was talking to me about the podcast. And when I asked her, what made you even think about the industry? What made you go look for this podcast? She said, I was targeted through social media, right? And the power of social media, we still haven't really exploited. And the power of using other women's stories. We speak of these stories, but we still target everyone who's in the industry. We need to go beyond that to inspire different people, people outside who really don't know about the opportunities are. So I think those are the elements that we really need to take and use as a platform to inspire more women into the industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wish we could keep going, but we have reached the scheduled time. So to sum up now, they have talked about how to a perfect resume, how to write a perfect resume. Also, it's not about being a woman or men, it's about the hardships that we do. And also the work-life balance, mentoring, and also from different careers to this career, etc. It was wonderful listening to all of you. It was truly inspiring to hear your perspectives and stories. I'm sure everyone who is sitting here has taken away something meaningful from this discussion. It's been an absolute honor to moderate this wonderful panel discussion. And now I would like to take a moment to thank SheEO, Indian Maritime University, our respected HOD, and my esteemed faculties for giving me this opportunity and the support and the guidance behind it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.